In the heart of South Dakota, nestled within the ancient and sacred Black Hills, stands a monument unlike any other in the world. Mount Rushmore National Memorial is a colossal sculpture carved directly into the granite face of a mountain. It is a place of pilgrimage for millions of Americans and international visitors each year. They come to gaze upon the four immense faces that stare out across the rolling landscape, a testament to the first 150 years of American history. This is more than just a tourist attraction. It is a symbol, a story etched in stone, representing the birth, growth, and preservation of the United States. Its sheer scale and ambition capture the imagination, drawing people from all corners of the globe to witness this monumental feat of engineering and artistry. The idea for such a grand sculpture did not originate with an artist or a president, but with a local historian named Doane Robinson. In the early 1920s, Robinson envisioned a way to attract tourism and commerce to his state of South Dakota. He wanted to create something that would put the Black Hills on the map, something that people would travel thousands of miles to see. His initial concept was to carve the likenesses of Western heroes like Lewis and Clark, Sacagawea, and Buffalo Bill Cody into the granite spires known as the Needles. He believed these figures would celebrate the spirit of the American West and bring a new era of prosperity to the region, transforming a remote mountain range into a national destination. Robinson's dream was ambitious, and he needed a sculptor with the vision and skill to bring it to life. He reached out to Gutzon Borglum, a Danish-American artist known for his large-scale public works, including a massive bust of Abraham Lincoln in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. Borglum, a man of immense ego and even greater ambition, saw the potential in the project but had a different vision. He believed that to create a monument of national significance, it must feature figures of national importance. He convinced Robinson and the project's backers that the sculpture should honor 4 American presidents who had played pivotal roles in shaping the nation's destiny, thereby elevating the project from a regional attraction to a shrine of democracy. The location itself was a critical decision. Borglum rejected Robinson's initial suggestion of the Needles, as the granite there was too weathered and cracked to support such detailed carvings. After an extensive search throughout the Black Hills, he selected Mount Rushmore. The mountain was perfect. It faced southeast, ensuring it would receive direct sunlight for most of the day, making the features of the sculptures stand out. Its granite was strong, fine-grained, and relatively free of fractures, capable of withstanding the forces of erosion for centuries. Borglum knew that on this solid canvas, he could carve a memorial that would endure through the ages, a permanent tribute to the ideals of the American Republic. The monumental task of carving Mount Rushmore began in 1927, under the watchful and often demanding eye of Gutzon Borglum. This was not a project for the faint of heart. It required a unique combination of artistry and industrial might. Borglum, along with a dedicated crew of nearly 400 workers, many of whom were local miners and laborers, set out to transform the mountain face. The work was dangerous and physically demanding, performed high above the ground in blistering heat and freezing cold. The workers were suspended from the top of the mountain in bosun chairs, held by thick steel cables, as they meticulously chipped away at the granite. Every day was a battle against the elements and the sheer hardness of the stone. Borglum pioneered innovative techniques to accomplish his grand vision. Instead of relying solely on traditional chisels and hammers, he turned to the power of dynamite. Precision blasting became the primary method for removing large sections of rock, a process that required incredible skill and calculation. Borglum and his team would drill holes into the granite and place carefully measured charges of dynamite to blast away stone to within inches of the final surface. This method allowed them to shape the massive heads with surprising speed and accuracy. Following the blasting, workers would use pneumatic drills, a process called honeycombing, to weaken the remaining rock before smoothing the surface with hammers and chisels to create the final, detailed features. The construction of Mount Rushmore spanned 14 years, from 1927 to 1941, a period that included the Great Depression. Despite the economic hardships of the era, the project continued, providing much-needed jobs and a sense of national purpose. The work was slow and deliberate, with each president's face taking years to complete. Washington was the first to be dedicated in 1934, followed by Jefferson in 1936, Lincoln in 1937, and finally, Theodore Roosevelt in 1939. Gutzon Borglum, the driving force behind the monument, tragically passed away in March 1941, just months before the project was officially declared complete. His son, Lincoln Borglum, took over and saw the memorial through its final stages of construction. Interestingly, Borglum's original design was far more elaborate than what we see today. He envisioned carving the presidents from the waist up, and planned to build a massive chamber within the mountain behind the faces. This Hall of Records was intended to house important American documents, such as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, along with a history of the nation. While a tunnel for the hall was started, the project was ultimately abandoned due to a lack of funding and the onset of World War II. The focus shifted to completing the faces, leaving the grander vision unrealized but preserving the powerful impact of the 4 presidential portraits against the sky. The 4 presidents immortalized on Mount Rushmore were chosen by Gutzon Borglum to represent the first 150 years of American history, each symbolizing a crucial aspect of the nation's foundation and expansion. The first and most prominent face is that of George Washington. As the first president of the United States and the commander of the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War, Washington represents the birth of the nation. He is the symbol of the struggle for independence and the establishment of the American Republic. His placement on the monument signifies the foundational principles of liberty and self-governance upon which the country was built, a stoic and steady presence watching over the nation he helped create. To Washington's right is Thomas Jefferson, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson represents the growth of the nation, both in terms of its philosophical ideals and its physical territory. He championed the idea that all men are created equal and have inalienable rights, a core tenet of American democracy. Furthermore, through the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, Jefferson doubled the size of the country, paving the way for westward expansion and fulfilling the vision of a continental nation. His inclusion on Mount Rushmore honors the expansion of liberty and the belief in America's manifest destiny to stretch from sea to shining sea. Positioned on the far right is Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, who guided the nation through its darkest hour, the Civil War. Lincoln represents the preservation of the nation. His leadership ensured that the United States would remain one country, indivisible, and his actions led to the abolition of slavery. He is remembered for his steadfast commitment to the principles of unity and equality, ensuring that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Lincoln's face on the mountain is a powerful reminder of the sacrifices made to hold the nation together and to strive for a more perfect union where the promise of freedom extends to all citizens. Finally, nestled between Jefferson and Lincoln is the face of Theodore Roosevelt, the 20th century president who represents the development of the United States. Roosevelt was a trustbuster who fought for the rights of the common worker and ushered in an era of progressive reform. He was also a staunch conservationist who established national parks and forests, preserving America's natural wonders for future generations. His role in the construction of the Panama Canal symbolized America's emergence as a global power. Roosevelt's inclusion on the monument celebrates the nation's industrial and economic growth, as well as its responsibility to protect both its people and its land. For many Americans, Mount Rushmore stands as a powerful symbol of national pride, freedom, and democracy. It is a shrine of democracy, as it was originally intended, celebrating the leaders who shaped the country's destiny and the ideals they championed. Families make cross-country road trips to witness its majesty, and it serves as a backdrop for patriotic celebrations, particularly on the 4th of July. The monument's appearance in popular culture, from Alfred Hitchcock's classic film North by Northwest to National Treasure Book of Secrets, has further cemented its status as an iconic American landmark. It represents the grand, ambitious spirit of the nation, the idea that anything is possible with vision and determination. However, the legacy of Mount Rushmore is not without deep controversy. For the Lakota Sioux and other Native American tribes, the monument is a profound symbol of disrespect and broken treaties. The Black Hills, or Pahasapa in the Lakota language, are sacred lands considered the heart of their spiritual world. These lands were promised to the Lakota in the Treaty of Fort Laramie of 1868. Yet, when gold was discovered in the area, the U.S. government seized the land, violating the treaty. The carving of the faces of American presidents, men who presided over policies of westward expansion, that led to the displacement and persecution of native peoples into their sacred mountain is seen as a desecration and a painful reminder of a history of injustice. This complex and contested history adds another layer to the monument's meaning. While some see the faces of great leaders, others see the faces of colonizers carved over a sacred site. The U.S. Supreme Court even ruled in 1980 that the seizure of the Black Hills was illegal and awarded the Sioux Nation over $100 million in compensation, but the tribes have refused the money, insisting on the return of their land. The nearby Crazy Horse Memorial, a privately funded project still under construction, is seen by many as a direct response to Mount Rushmore, honoring a legendary Lakota warrior and reclaiming the narrative of the Black Hills for its original inhabitants. Today, on the 26th of July, 2025, Mount Rushmore continues to embody a dual identity. It is at once a celebration of American achievement and a source of deep-seated historical grievance. It forces us to confront the complexities of our shared history, the triumphs as well as the tragedies. The monument is more than just stone and dynamite. It is a conversation piece, a place that provokes thought and debate about what America was, what it is, and what it strives to be. Its enduring presence in the Black Hills ensures that the stories it tells, both of presidential greatness and of cultural conflict, will continue to be told for generations to come, challenging each of us to understand the full weight of its legacy.
Ready for a history adventure? Join our community. Subscribe to World History, smash that like, share with friends, and drop your thoughts below. Let's make history together. See you in the comments.